Hey, it's episode 22 of the Brink of Sanity with Jay and, of course, Bry.
Hi.
And we're back. That means it's Wednesday.
22.
22. We're getting there.
Yay.
I feel like we should do something kind of big for 25.
Is this like our season finale then, if it's episode 22?
No, I think podcasts have to do like 700 for a season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's no fun.
No, not really. It's a lot of
We're
work.
getting the rest of the summer off.
No, I think what it is, it's a lot of work for nothing.
Nothing to show for it.
A lot of work always, and then nothing else.
I mean, we do a great show every week. We ask you for all these dopes out there for feedback. Nobody ever gives us any. We got a message board that, like, had been stagnant for about 2 weeks until I actually asked 2 questions yesterday.
Unless Bry talks about flip-flops, and then the boards blow up, apparently. We get new forum members. Everyone is
I made a couple of questions yesterday. We're asking people what their favorite minute of the show is, and in the people that actually posted, I'm very surprised at the answer. And then I asked a hypothetical question if I should sell my soul like I always do and shave my beard when I go to Las Vegas this weekend. And I'm still not quite sure what I want to do with that yet. And if you don't know the boards that we're talking about, it's brinkofsanityshow.com. And just click on forums and sign up, and you can join along in the silence. It's like a library here because there's nothing going on, no noise, no commotion, no anything. It's just dead.
Well, apparently the big hits when you were asking what their favorite episodes and parts were the Valentine's Day Massacre, episode 3, where I ended up blacking out and stumbling along some train tracks for a few hours. And Fun Sponge, which was actually kind of like an ongoing thing because Fun Sponge resurrected herself a few episodes later.
Yeah.
But the thing that concerns me is those were episodes 3 and 7, and we're up to 22, which either means they were, those were the first few episodes when they were browsing through episode descriptions, or we are getting progressively worse.
Yeah, there hasn't been a high note in a long time.
Yeah, exactly. I like 3 and 7, but you guys have sucked for about 15 episodes.
Fun Sponge is one of those, like, minor recurring characters that, like, no one knows who she is. She might not even be real. We mention her in passing every now and then, and somehow she's, like, the hit of the show.
I seriously thought that was going to be, like, a passing thing where people might find that amusing and never think of it again, but apparently that was a big hit. She'd be proud to know that she's an internet sensation now.
Yep. Is she pregnant too?
She probably pumped out that demon spawn already. I mean, the shower was a couple of weeks ago already, and don't you get the shower like right before you give birth?
I'm not sure what shower etiquette's like. It's close. I don't think it's like the week before. It's not like a bachelor party or bachelorette party.
No, but I think it's like a month before. I don't know. I'd ask for people to let me know, but every time I ask a question, I get nothing back. So I'll just.
I ask a question and I actually get a few answers. None of them make any sense, but I mean, a few answers.
It's something. I'll just, instead of questions, I'll just make assumptions now. And I'm going to assume.
Not a question, just a comment, really.
Yeah. I'll just assume it's exactly 30 days on the dot before. And, we'll just go with that.
All right.
So, I think that means the baby is probably born. It's probably,
a listener of the show.
And probably boring.
Yeah. Like every other baby.
Yeah, pretty much. So, that was our, what's going on with the show right now.
That was our board recap for the week.
Yeah. There's a big discussion going on about beards.
Yeah.
It's just one of our longest discussions on the forum so far.
We're thinking of making beards its own, topic on the boards because it's such a hot issue, hot button amongst us.
Apparently we get no feedback unless it's about beards or sandals.
Yeah.
I guess we shouldn't tell stories anymore. We should just talk about facial hair.
I mean, I could talk about beards all night. That's fine.
Why not? Beardcast, starting episode 22.
Beardcast. Watch my beard grow.
We'll grow different types of beards, and we'll post pictures of them. And we'll have guest hosts that have beards, and we'll talk about how they started growing their beard. And,
we can talk about Johnny Promo. He's doing a stupid dating thing on regular radio, on his radio show. And it's called Beard of Love. It's a ripoff of, like Rock of Love with Bret Michaels. It's all these girls, like, coming after him with his beard. And I saw the pictures on the website of the radio station, and they're all just, like, nasty. Which is kind of funny, but.
Johnny Promo is the guy who was at the radio station that Bry won his Cancun tickets from.
Yep, and was obsessed with my beard.
I don't remember what episode we talked about Cancun in, but, you know.
There's a whole thing. There's pictures on, in the forums from there.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody commented on any of them.
You'd think, with your friggin' 3-foot terrorist beard, somebody would have a sly remark to make, but apparently.
I know.
Oh well, it's alright.
Fine.
I have fun posting on the forums.
I do too when I actually decide to post.
Yeah. Every once in a while, Bry pops.
There's coherent posts that I can reply to.
What are you alluding to, Bry?
Oh, I mean, so I don't know. I just read some posts sometimes, and they seem to get off topic, and I have a hard time replying to them to try to get them back on track. That's all.
It happens.
Yeah, it's fine. It's freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm. So I went to another Indian restaurant on Saturday, and apparently Indian restaurants hate you. And every time I go to one,
or everybody,
everyone, they just, especially you, but yeah, they hate when people go into the restaurants. I don't why would you be in the food industry if you don't like when people go into your establishment? I did a whole rant about shitty service one episode, and then so I go to another place and it's just as bad.
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't want people coming in, then don't fucking have a store. Make it in your kitchen and eat it yourself. And when the food came out, the entire course was in this little bowl that you could fit in the palm of your hand. There must have been 6 little cubes of meat. I probably could have ate 3 or 4 main courses, no joke. And so I was not very impressed. The problem is I like Indian food, and but I don't.
I was just gonna say, why did you even bother going there?
I really like Indian food, but I don't like feeling uncomfortable and getting shitty portions for lots of money.
Doesn't Indian food make you feel uncomfortable because it's so bad for you? It just makes you shit for days.
You see, everyone always says that about Indian and Mexican food. No food really makes me shit, so.
You live with an Indian. Why don't you just have him cook you dinner?
Dude, I can't even get him to wash a plate when he's done eating takeout food. I can get him to cook a fucking meal.
I don't know.
No, this is a whole new breed of lazy we're dealing with here.
Oh, alright.
So, and if you're listening to this episode, no, I don't take it back. You're lazy.
He's not listening, don't worry. Nobody's listening.
No, he's never gonna listen to this show.
I mean, he might hear you through the wall, but he's not listening to the show.
He is actually not playing Warcraft right now, which I'm wondering if he's still alive, because I don't hear the sounds of Warcraft. And it's kind of like the white noise now. I expect to hear it 24 hours a day, and when I don't, it's disconcerting.
Oh well.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he found a hobby. Something to do. Alright, who else can we offend and burn bridges with?
Well, we already pissed off Indian people. They pissed off everybody who listens.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Right. What else we got? I saw a guy on the train today who almost made me barf. And,
another crazy guy? Or a smelly, dirty...
Crazy, his body was insane. He was wearing, a tight white shirt, and he had what looked like a penis coming out of his belly button. It stuck straight out. And, I don't know if it was a tumor or what the fuck it was, but it was the shape of a penis, but it was high enough where you knew it wasn't, it was really where his belly button was. So I guess that's a super outy belly button. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, not really.
Like
I don't ride this regularly either, so.
Yeah, but you've seen humans around. I mean, I don't know. Like he could probably have sex with that thing. His outie penis belly button. And, it was one of those things where he was standing like 2 feet away from me, and like, I really didn't want to look because it was really making me nauseous, but I couldn't look away either. It was like...
It was a train wreck.
It was a train wreck, and I was like, well, if I barf, I'm gonna barf right on his penis belly button just to, maybe he'll take his shirt off and then I'll see what the fuck it really is. It was, I don't know. He should wear looser fitting clothes if he's gonna...
You can talk to him to like find out what the problem was?
I was tempted, but he looked like he didn't speak English.
Was he a white guy?
No, he was either, Arab, Indian, or Spanish. I'm leaning toward... I know Arab is probably some un-PC term, and we're going to get a letter from the FCC. I don't know what you want me to call them. But,
no FCC.
Right,
it's the internet.
I don't know. It was probably an Arab guy. Middle Eastern, that's the PC term, right?
Saudi.
Everyone's got to be...
Terrorist. I think that's the PC term.
Dirt devil.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't say anything anymore. Friggin' Imus is in trouble again?
I was just going to bring that up, speaking of racism. I mean, I don't understand what the big deal is. First of all, Adam Pac-Man Jones is such a, like, low-life thug that, like, nobody should be allowed to get in trouble for saying anything about him. Because the guy should be rotting in jail right now. And, coincidence, he is black. So it's not like he said something that wasn't... He said, what color is he? He's black. Okay, he's black. Okay, so, I mean, what's the problem here?
Yeah, it says it right here. What color is he? The other guy said African American, and he goes, there you go, now we know.
Yeah.
Even
though we all knew anyway.
How is that racist?
Maybe he thought he was yellow because, his name's Pac-Man.
It could be. Could be. I just don't understand how that's racist at all. And then there was another thing he said, what people should be outraged about is that they arrest blacks for no reason. I mean, there's no reason to arrest this kid 6 times. Maybe he did something once, but everyone does something once. And people are like mad that he said maybe he did something once. But like, he said everyone as in all humans, not as in all black people.
The guy and one of his people shot a bouncer at a strip club in Las Vegas, and the guy's paralyzed now. Don't tell me he only did something once.
Well, he was,
Did you just fall over? What was that?
my microphone fell over, not me.
Oh.
I punched it by accident.
Oh.
I'm so angry about this shit. I think everyone's just like trying to jump over Imus now. Like,
I know. I feel bad for Imus. I used to listen to him, and I only have a 10-minute ride to work, so I don't really. I actually put him on that day, and he was interviewing George Carlin. It was an old clip, and then like later in the day, I heard about that, and I was like, oh, jeez, here we go again. It's like just find somebody else to. The guy's like 100 years old. Nobody listens to him anyway, and just
that one was extra aggravating though, because that wasn't even close to being racist. I don't.
No, it definitely wasn't. But they're just, he's got a target on his back now.
Do you think he's that stupid that he would make a racist comment after all that shit he went through like a month ago?
Not at all.
I mean, the guy's not a friggin' moron. I mean, you may not like him and he may not be like funny, but he's not like he's not an idiot. It's, I don't know. He said the comment, everyone criticizing him is ridiculous, and I agree, because it's getting to the point where you can't say shit anymore without everyone going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you hear about the thing in Massachusetts?
The pregnancy thing with all the girls?
Yeah.
I heard part of it. Like, all I know is that there's suspicion of, like, girls making a pact to all get pregnant or something, which is just, like, those girls should just be thrown into a river with a cement around their neck or something.
Well, they should all probably have their throats slit and hung upside down. Like,
yeah.
But, it's stupid. Their plan is stupid because they're probably like high school dropouts and are all trying to raise kids. But, on the other hand, like, who gives a shit if they all want to have kids at the same time? Like, why is that anybody else's business? Like, why is that an issue?
Well, I think because they're only like 15 or 16, aren't they? Isn't that?
No, they're 17, I think.
Oh, they are? Well, even still, 17's not technically an adult.
Yeah, but, I mean, don't like all Spanish people have kids at 14?
Like 10 or 11. Rednecks have kids at like 12 and 13 too, so.
Right, so this is, 17-year-old in Massachusetts is better than 13-year-old in Alabama. So I don't know why it's an issue.
Well, I think the issue is more like, it's not like a bunch of girls who accidentally got pregnant that are like, oh, we'll raise our kids together. They're like going out to like fuck some guy, some like goober, who doesn't give a shit. And then all of a sudden that guy's life is fucked because in 4 years they're going to start getting pissed that this guy's not around or whatever. And he's like, hey, these are just some whores that wanted to have a little pregnancy pact because they saw it on The Hills or whatever those shows are. Not that they did that on The Hills, but you know what I mean. I don't know. I just think you should just slash their throats and we'll move on. Turn the page.
Why don't the school shootings happen at these schools? They always go after schools that don't deserve it. There's a whole bunch of idiots right here. I didn't know. I just read. I didn't know there were 17 girls who did this. All right, that's ridiculous. I thought it was a group of like 3 friends who all wanted to have a kid together, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. They want to like experience the same thing at the same time. All right, 17. Yeah, they should all be locked in a room and injected with the plague.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, never mind. I was going to defend these girls, but they're stupid.
Oh, no. There's no defending women. They're all morons. Most of them.
Imus is still alright, though. I mean...
Yeah, Imus is,
That wasn't... What color
First
is
of all,
it?
it's Pac-Man Jones. It's not like he was talking about Barack Obama or anything.
Right. It's not like this was an upstanding citizen anyway.
Right, exactly.
If a black guy does something wrong and you say he did something wrong, it's racist, even though he did something wrong?
Yeah.
I don't understand that logic. I'm sure Al Sharpton's already calling all the friggin' TV stations, giving press conferences.
There's so much flawed logic around race and like what you can say, do, not what you can say, can't say, do, not do, and it's all just like.
If we were on a real radio station, we'd get kicked off every episode.
Yeah. This would all be beeped.
But it's all like, it's jokes though, like that's the thing. I don't get why everyone's so pissed off, like, like shows like us, we make fun of everything, so, what's the problem? So we say, are you gonna tell me Mexicans don't have kids at 12? I mean, it's,
Family Guy was just on 20 minutes ago I was watching and they made a joke about, Stewie said something like, oh, if I was a father and I left my kid, what would that make me? And Brian goes, a black guy.
Exactly.
I mean, that's worse than what I just said.
Yeah, that's so much worse.
Or the episode where he keeps barking at the black guy.
Yeah. Where he keeps turning off the Apollo when it comes on.
Yeah, I mean.
Or every single episode where they make a joke.
Pretty much, yeah.
You see 2 guys playing basketball and he goes, look, it's the WB. But that show's done anyway. I don't know if you guys saw the season finale. Worst thing I've ever seen. I don't even think I'm gonna watch the next season.
I saw it, I don't really remember it.
Apparently, instead of having Stewie being evil, he's just a complete flaming homosexual.
It's funny, I actually had that conversation with somebody yesterday. We were talking about Family Guy, and she goes, so Stewie's gay. And I was like, yeah, apparently there's no question about it anymore. It was sort of like a joke before, but now it's like he's really gay. And it'd be much more fun if he was the guy that tried to take over the world all the time. But now it's just like, oh, I'm gay, and I'm going to hang out with Brian and Drew Barrymore's new character, whoever she is, because she's like 30 people on the show.
Yeah, see, I just don't get it. Like, every show is a gay guy, and they're never a funny character, and having like an evil baby that's trying to kill everyone is funny, but like...
Plus they have like 10 gay guys already. They got the old man pedophile, they got the gay guy with the...
They got the mustache guy,
yeah.
Yeah, there's so many, and then they gotta do that. He's like walking around saying he has a boner because a guy is gonna move in, and running around naked asking him if he likes what he sees, and like... It's not even funny, it's just like... It's just weird. Like a 1-year-old that wants to get fucked up the ass is not... I'm all for like cutting edge humor, but that's not even funny. It's just stupid.
Yeah. I haven't seen it in a while. I'll have to watch it again.
Oh, it's the worst thing ever.
The Mick Stroke episode was funny though. You saw that one.
You know what? I don't think so. I think,
the mustache stuff was funny at the beginning.
Yeah, I missed that one. I missed like a lot of the episodes because they change their whole sense of humor on the show. And
He grows a mustache and he just becomes like consumed with mustache life.
that sounds nothing like the beard episode.
No. It was funny, and then he's walking down the street and there's a fire at like the McDonald's or whatever, and the firemen, if you know any firemen, you appreciate the humor in this, but they're like, that guy has a mustache, he must be a fireman. So like, they get him and he goes in to save a guy who's trapped in there, and he comes out and the fire burned off his mustache and he like loses it. He's like, oh, my mustache. It's kind of funny, and then he has a stroke later, which is funny because like half of his body's all droopy and everything. And then it gets weird. And then like he gets fixed, and it kind of goes downhill from there. But.
I'll check it out, I guess.
But there were some high points in it. The first first half probably.
Did you hear what Pac-Man Jones said about Imus?
No, what did he say?
I'm truly upset about the comments. Obviously, Mr. Imus has problems with African Americans. I'm upset, and I hope the station he works for handles it accordingly. I will pray for him.
Phone's ringing. I can't reach it. That's all right. He's gonna pray. Oh, that's very nice. Maybe he should pray for his own. Maybe he should pray that he gets reinstated to the NFL.
Maybe you should pray he goes 6 months without committing a felony.
Yeah.
Is
Stop calling me.
that your stupid landline?
Yeah, I'm sitting in my other chair though, so I can't really reach it. I'd have to like take my headphones off and go over and answer it. So.
Fuck it. Oh, and Shaq got his whatever deputy cop thing taken away because he said something too.
Yeah, I heard something about that. He made a rap about Kobe and.
Yeah, one line is like, that's like Kobe trying to win without me. That's like a white guy trying to be more nigger than me. And because he used a racial sentence, they like took away his deputy
Harris,
cop.
he wasn't even a real cop anyway.
Yeah, I know. He was like, they gave him like a Captain Crunch badge and let him wear a silly hat and let him ride in like, the back of the cop car.
I love Shaq because he's like probably like 85% retarded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
He's like a Down syndrome kid. Only he's 7 feet tall and 500 pounds. He just knows how to dunk a ball.
And that's about it. Obviously can't shoot it.
It's like you give him lollipops at the end of the game, and he's like all happy and smiles. Yay, me!
They paid him in candy bars.
Yeah. You paid him in like jelly beans.
Maybe that's why he's so fat. They were paying him
Bringing
in
like
candy.
a wheelbarrow full of jelly beans.
I mean, if I was like 380 pounds and 7'2" or whatever, I'd be able to be in the NBA too. It's not like, nothing impressive really.
Unless you're Sean Bradley.
Yo, how long did he last? He played like 7 games and averaged 3 points a game.
You said it was still recording.
Well, it was, but I stopped it to make sure it was still recording.
Oh.
So now it's recording for real.
Alright, this is a great show.
I fixed my editing program, so this will all be fixed.
Oh, good.
Speaking of lawsuits, the Naked Cowboy is suing the M&M Corporation now.
I don't know what the Naked Cowboy is.
He is a douchebag that sits in Times Square all day, every day, with a guitar, singing shitty songs, in tighty whities and cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. And he's the Naked Cowboy.
He's suing M&M's. Why?
Because there was an M&M ad where one of the M&Ms was in his underwear with a guitar and maybe a cowboy hat. So he's saying it was.
Why would an M&M wear underwear?
I have no idea.
If I was the judge, I would just say, why would an M&M wear underwear? Case dismissed. Get the fuck out of my court.
Well, I mean, even if he is dressed up like the Naked Cowboy, like, aren't you allowed to do parodies still?
I thought so.
Like, he didn't call himself the Naked Cowboy, which, I mean, if he patented his name, he patented, his,
Trademark.
his trademark, yeah. He didn't patent, like, anybody who wants to wear tighty whities and a cowboy hat.
He didn't invent it.
If that was the case, he could sue all of Texas. But,
Every trailer park in America.
yeah, exactly. So he can't do that. So he's going to lose that.
36 hours till my flight takes off.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're going to...
the voicemail programmed, so hopefully we'll leave some drunk rambling messages.
Okay, sweet. And if anybody else wants to leave us voicemails, there's a contact page on brinkofsanityshow.com. It has our voicemail number on there. Because I don't know what it is offhand, and I don't feel like pulling up the website.
Yeah, I don't either.
And
just
there,
up at 614 something, 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 something.
Yeah.
Something, something, something else.
If you guess long enough, you'll probably figure it out eventually.
Just keep dialing.
And there's a new ad on the front page too, so you could click.
Yay.
See, if you don't want to donate money, you could just click on the ad and we get money anyway.
Yay.
Alright, so we were getting a call, but he didn't want to talk, he just wanted to listen.
Alright.
So, if you call...
Would you like to say some words about your... I was going to say friend. About George Carlin passing this week. I know you were a big fan.
I was a fan. I was not a huge fan, but
I think most of his stuff I think is a little dated now. But.
A lot of it is dated. He's still got one album, Playing With Your Head, that's really good. A lot of the other stuff is a little bit dated, but I respect what he did for stand-up comedy. I mean, he broke down a lot of barriers, and he was willing to go where other people were too scared to go. So, I mean, you gotta respect that.
Yeah.
I saw him our freshman year of college too, and he was pretty funny. So yeah, he was one of those guys where I just assumed he'd always be alive. He just seemed like he'd always be there. So it's kind of shocking to see that on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
Not that it's any more or less shocking on a Monday, I guess, than it is Thursday.
Start a Brink of Sanity death pool. I don't really know how they work though, but they sound like they'd be fun, just picking random people to die.
And then, it's like Price is Right rules, closest without going over.
I don't really know how they work.
We already have one. It's your McCain pool.
Oh yeah. Well, he's got 4 years and 3 months still to go to die, so.
But, we'd actually have to have interactive listeners to.
We'd have to have more than the same 3 people post.
Right. Yeah, maybe in the future when we're huge.
Yeah.
The guy who was trying to call in wanted us to talk about how you can rig your car to.
Oh, I forgot to read that shit.
Run on water instead of gas.
I never do my homework.
All right, you want to read about it later and talk about it next week?
Yeah.
Because he actually said he was going to rig his car to do that. For those of you who don't know, there's actually a way where you can get your car to run on water instead of gas and save lots of money. And apparently it really works. So one of our listeners, the guy who did the logo on the front page, said tomorrow he's going to do that to his car. So hopefully we'll get some feedback from him.
If anything, he should come on next week and talk about it.
Yeah, maybe he'll call up next week and tell us how it is, or leave a voicemail or something.
Did I just get real quiet?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll do that next week when I read the article, and actually when I read the article too, because I like reading headlines and I don't really read details, because who's got that kind of time really?
Exactly. Get all I need to know from headlines.
I'm a busy guy. Got stuff to do. So I really have nothing to do, but
I just don't know how to read.
I like to pretend I have stuff to do.
Exactly. That's where I get all my news information. I just read headlines and then I don't read this. I make up a story in my head.
Right. You could basically, get close enough, I guess.
Yeah.
And then what else we got? I went to a concert on Friday.
Oh, who'd you see?
Gogol Bordello.
I don't even know who that is.
Gypsy punk, crazy Bulgarian music.
Any good?
It's awesome. I'd go see them again in a heartbeat. It was a crazy show. It's one of those shows where it just gets everyone pumped up and everyone's jumping around going crazy. It's, yeah, you should check those guys out.
So like tribal stuff?
It's like Bulgarian, like la 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 la, and everyone's like, hey, and jumping up and down, and throwing beer all over the place, and just like rowdy music. You can check them out. You can check them out on MySpace. Gogol Bordello. And the guy comes out wasted. He's just carrying a bottle of wine. He like chugs half of it before he starts singing.
Well, that's good.
And then during the show, he has these two Asian chicks come out with ponytails, and he goes up behind them and he pulls on their ponytail and puts the mic to their face while they're like screaming. I don't know what the point of that was, but it was pretty amusing to watch.
Only in New York, I guess.
Yeah. So, yeah, I definitely want to see those guys again. That was pretty sweet. And apparently that guy DJs once a week at a bar, so I'm gonna go see him next time he's DJing.
There you go. Anything over the weekend?
No. I had my shitty Indian restaurant experience.
Yeah.
Crazy Bulgarian, awesome experience.
Now, was that the same night?
No, different nights. Friday was the concert. Saturday,
weekend.
Yeah, Saturday they had like a street fair with live bands on the road, and was drinking in the afternoon, and then I figured I'd get some good food to eat afterwards. Stopped in this bar that has like sand on the ground, so it's supposed to be like you're on the beach, and they have all like tiki drinks and stuff. That was pretty neat.
A lot of flip-flops at that bar, I bet.
There were a few flip-flops at that bar. Here we go. Now the forums are going to go blowing up.
Here we go. Bry's love of flip-flops.
Sunday I was trying to break all my world records. Somebody was asking about that.
Oh yeah, how did that go? Not too well, I take it.
Well, world records are harder to beat than I originally thought they would be. I started off with Dr. Mario, and I was playing for so long my tape actually ended halfway through the game. So it doesn't count if if there's a stop in the tape or, you stop recording. So, I got pissed off and put that game away. When I get my new computer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stream the Nintendo right into the computer and record. So I'll try again on that one. And, I think I got to go back to the videotape because I didn't digitize it yet, but I think I broke one world record. So I'm going to have to go back.
Can I guess what record that is?
Sure, you can guess.
The Biggest Loser?
No, I tied for the Biggest Loser.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I could go to the videotape, and I'm pretty sure you didn't tie.
Yeah, you got it.
So you tied a record for what now?
I beat a record for a Nintendo game. It's an Olympics game. You gotta like push the buttons really fast to like run fast.
Games?
Was it?
Winter Games?
No, it's called Gold Medal Challenge. It's the most fun Olympics game I've ever played. I
don't think that's a big category.
It's not a very big category, and that's why I wasn't going up against too many people, but I do have a world record.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Tetris this weekend.
Oh, hopefully there's Tetris out in Las Vegas, because one of the people I'm going to Las Vegas with commented about, when I was talking about Tetris a couple of shows ago, she dared challenge me that she could beat me in Tetris. I don't know what these people are thinking when they say that, but I'll have to see if we could find a Tetris somewhere in Las Vegas.
Women thinking they can play Tetris.
Unbelievable. I was at a party, this girl told me she would destroy me, and I made her my bitch.
Well,
and then she started making excuses and talking shit, and I was like, listen, honey, don't try that shit on me. It's not gonna work.
Is this a forum member?
No. It's someone who used to listen. I don't think he's listened lately. It's his girlfriend, so.
I see.
It'd be nice I have to behave what I say about her in case he started listening again.
No, I think once you quit the show, that's it.
But he even agrees with me because I talked to him. I work with him, so I said, yeah, your girlfriend's a little crazy, thinking she beat me in Tetris. He's like, I don't know. She wants a rematch, but he doesn't because the 3 times that we've hung out outside of work, he's like gotten. First time, did I tell the story already?
I don't think so.
This guy that I work with, we've hung out 3 times outside of work. The first time, he's in a band, like a crazy, like, metal band.
Mm-hmm.
And, so he was playing at this theater in Hartford. I just got a spam IM for porn. Weird. On Skype. That's why I paused. I was like, what? I thought you were texting me something. So his band was playing at the Webster Theater in Hartford, this like club or whatever. And he was jumping around on stage, and like he landed wrong or awkwardly, and he broke his foot that night, like while he was on stage. Okay, well I was there. Then we hung out a little while later. We went bowling. Like I went bowling with a group of his friends, and like 2 days later he had a hockey game, and he fractured a rib.
Jesus.
Doing something. So then I go to this party, like it's probably like a month ago now, and a couple days later playing hockey again. And he separated his shoulder. So like I'm a curse to him, like, and so I keep saying, well, if your girlfriend wants to play me in Tetris again, you're probably going to end up getting hurt. It's like, oh, maybe it's not worth it. And then this other lady invited all of us over to her house to watch fireworks on the 4th of July. And he was asking me today. He goes, "Are you going?" I said, "I don't know. She thinks I am, but I didn't tell her I was." He goes, "Oh, well, I'm going." And I go, well, if I go and you go, you know, he goes, yeah, I think I'm going to catch on fire or get struck with fireworks or something. So we'll see what happens if that happens again, but definitely a curse on him.
It's going to get to the point where he's like subconsciously going to hurt himself now.
I know. It's like more delayed now. Like the first time was that night, then the second time was like 2 days later, and then this last time was like 3 days later.
All right, so now we've got 4 days to run this.
4 days of good help.
Sweet. Are you still working an office job?
Yeah.
Do you have, like, when you walk past somebody, what do you do?
What do you mean?
Like, do you nod at them? Do you say hi? Do you just walk past them without acknowledging them?
Well, it depends. There's only 20 people in my office, so it depends who it is. There's a couple people I won't like. I'll look away. Most people I'll just smile or say hi to or say something stupid to.
Like if you're passing them, if you're going in opposite directions in the hall.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I mean, it depends who it is. If it's my boss, I'll probably won't even. I'll just look away.
Oh, there's the Warcraft sounds. Okay, he came home.
And if it's someone else, then I might say something to him or make a dumb joke or whatever.
Gotcha. All
right. What do you do?
Well, I usually either smile or nod, or if I know the person, I say hi. But I usually acknowledge when I'm walking past them because I feel like I see them every single day. It's kind of weird to just like look away or look down.
Right.
They hired this new bitch, and we were walking past each other, and I smiled and said hi, and she she sees me do it and then like looks away and looks at the ground. And I'm like, you stupid bitch. Like, it's your first week here. Like, you don't know like what the hierarchy is. You don't have to be a cunt about it. It's not like I was trying to hit on her or anything. I was just trying to have it not be awkward every time we pass each other in the hallway. Right. But now it's awkward because now I'm going to give her a nasty face instead of a smiley face. And there's one other bitch that does that too, and I don't know, I just think it's weird. Like, even if there's somebody I don't know, or I haven't seen before, I at least like nod or something, I don't know, it just feels weird to work in the same building and not acknowledge.
Yeah. I know, well, in my old office building, like if I was downstairs, like waiting for the elevator or something, and like some of the women, there was a lot of hot women that worked in this office on the first floor, and like if they were out in the hallway going to the bathroom or something, I would kind of they go out of their way to not look at me. Like I would just kind of smile and nod or something, but they, as soon as they saw me, they would totally just look the other way, completely turn their body the other way.
See, I don't get that. Why would you do that?
I don't know.
There's something wrong with people.
Yeah, it's just women. They think that, like, I don't know. They think everybody wants to fuck them.
I'm gonna tell her exactly how much I don't want to fuck her.
You know who I feel bad for? I noticed this, the other day. I feel bad for, like, not really attractive women, but, like, those, like, average to, like, mildly attractive women.
Why is that?
Well, like, now that it's summertime, in like, springtime, like, there's a lot of people out walking, riding bikes, you know, that kind of stuff, and, like, you know, I drive around town and I see, like, girls out walking, or, like, riding a bike, or jogging, or something, and they're not like the super, like, they're not like the 9s and the 10s, they're like the 6s and the 7s, and I feel bad for them, because, like, everybody is, like, ogling them, like, every car slows down, and you see, like, the head turn to, like, check them out as they go by, and, like, I feel bad for them.
Well, you don't think the 9s and 10s get ogled?
No, they do, but I don't feel bad for them, because they're usually cunts anyway.
Right.
I feel bad for, like, reasonably, like, attractive women, like, have to bear the brunt of the really attractive women being such bitches.
Right.
Because nobody's going to talk to them, so they have to, like, take it down a level. And then, like, all these, like, average-looking girls and, you know, decent, attractive women have to, like, deal with the rest of us that, like, are like, well, I'm not going to talk to her, so I'll talk to you, you know.
I actually saw that. I went for a walk today at work, and there was this girl, like, a half a block ahead of me, and I saw one guy walk past and then completely turn around to stare at her ass. And then she passed these two other workers, and then, like, 20 feet away from them was a third worker. He was a black guy, and once she passed all three of them, like, the one guy, like, yelled to the black guy, said, "Hey, look, you always wanted to get with a white woman," and I'm like, this girl is just getting harassed all the way down the block. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, can't guys just control themselves? This girl, like, I was only behind her for like one block, but she must have got harassed every 5 seconds for her entire walk. And like, no wonder, like, when I go to a bar and I try to talk to a girl, she's already pissed off if she's got to deal with that every 5 seconds. Like,
yeah. I think no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, guys, if you're listening, like, cut that shit out. Like, it never works. The girl is never going to fuck you if you do that. And then it just makes it that much harder for us when we actually try and be nice to somebody legitimately.
I think it's Chris Rock that has a bit about that where he's like, you want to know why women are such pains in the asses and such bitches? Because every guy they've encountered since they were 16 has wanted to fuck them.
Yeah, it's so true, too.
You know,
and apparently guys just can't control themselves. Like, I see hot girls, and, you know, I want to fuck them, but, like, I act like a normal human being around them.
Right.
I see people, like, stop their car in the middle of the road, like, lean out and yell, "Hey, baby." Like, has that ever worked to anybody who's not a prostitute?
I don't know.
What is wrong with people?
It's like that Planters peanut commercial, except the girl's hot.
Yeah. Friggin' whistling. Come on, people.
Oh, I know.
I thought that only worked in, like, Bugs Bunny cartoons.
And that's only when it's Bugs Bunny dressed up as a woman.
Exactly. Well, I guess maybe it does work for transvestites. I don't know how.
Maybe, yeah.
Speaking of transvestites, I saw Charlie Wilson's War yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Is that any good?
It was pretty good. You have to be in the right mood because it's a lot of talking, so you have to be paying attention, you know, the whole time. But it was interesting. But Julia Roberts now looks like a transvestite.
Oh, she was never
I always thought she was gross, but now she looks like a man.
good.
First, she was just a really ugly woman. Now she looks like an ugly old man.
Good. Sick of her anyway.
Has she ever done anything where you're like, that's a good acting job?
Not really. I don't think I've seen many of her movies.
I mean, I guess she got famous for Pretty Woman, but I don't think she was terribly impressive in that. And everything else she's done has been extremely mediocre.
She won an Oscar in Aaron Brockovich. I saw that. It was kind of stupid.
And that was the best I've seen her in. Like, I was like, all right, she did a decent job in that. But it wasn't like I think other people couldn't have done just as good of a job. I mean,
right.
I think if you got Charlize Theron in there, she's a lot hotter, and I think she could have done just as good of a job.
Yeah. Where is she? She hasn't made a movie in a long time.
Did she have a kid or something?
Probably they all did.
I don't follow pop culture, but I just assume if they're really popular and then they all of a sudden stop making movies that they're pumping out babies.
Although that doesn't stop some people.
No, it doesn't.
I think she's one of those like kind of like Angelina Jolie. Like she's like all involved with like helping poor people and stuff like that. Because isn't she from like Africa or something?
Yeah, I think she's from South Africa.
I think she does a lot of like activist stuff. I think, but I could be wrong.
Waste of time.
Yeah.
Get an Xbox. Come on. Go with the times.
Seriously, it's 2008.
If they haven't gotten electricity by now, they're not gonna. Just do something else.
Yeah, really.
Friggin' save those people. Like, come on. They should have at least invented toilet paper by now. Those people are fucked. So, move on.
Everybody's fucked. We're all fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, this country's done.
Crashing down.
Stick a fork in it. Thanks, George. He's trying to get in that one last war before he finishes.
Yeah.
He's running out of time, but he might be able to do it. Charlie Wilson's War, do you know what that's about?
Something about, like, the guy, Charlie Wilson was a senator or something, and something about,
He was a House of Representatives guy, and, he,
funneled money to the Middle East or something? Or?
Well, yeah, the Russians were fucking up Afghanistan, and so we wanted to help them. So he was funneling money into Afghanistan, to get them weapons and tanks and shit. And, I'm thinking if you're Russia watching this movie, you're like, what the fuck? Like, that's really gotta piss you off. Like, they lost the war because we were like under the table, we're like helping these people. Like, I don't know, it's kinda fucked up. I think I would be quite pissed off. But, you know, everyone hates us already anyway, so I'm sure they hated us just as much before the movie.
Right. I'm so sick of, like, just all the bullshit that I just see on TV and the news, and it's like, trying to compare, like, this, like, I'm a history nerd, and I read a lot about the 60s and that kind of stuff, and it's everywhere I look, it's always like, oh, this is such a pivotal year, this is like 1968, this is like the 60s with the Vietnam War. This is nothing like the 60s, because our society has gone so far downhill, it's like,
nothing will be like the 60s again.
It just, like, pisses me off when I hear people like, oh, this is like, Barack Obama's like Robert Kennedy. This is like the 1968 election. We have an unpopular war, an unpopular president. This is nothing like that because people are too fucking lazy to do anything. You ever read about the 60s? You ever watch any documentaries? There were, everybody makes fun of hippies, and I used to make fun of hippies all the time until I started reading about them. But they got a lot of shit done. They were out there protesting the war, protesting this, protesting that, doing stuff. I mean, what do people do these days? They get online and they fucking blog, or they go to petitiononline.com and say, I think George Bush should be impeached. I click yes, pass this to your friends. It's like, fuck you. Get out there and do something. Like, get out there and, like, start a movement. And look, I know I'm sitting here spewing off saying, oh, get out and do it. And you could just say, well, Brian, why don't you get off your fat ass and do it? Well, I'm not really a leader. If somebody sets something up, I'll get behind it and I'll participate in it, but I'm not an organizer. If somebody wants to get out there and start doing some shit like that, I'd plenty of free time to get involved with that and march and do demonstrations and stuff like that. There was all kinds of shit. They protested everything in the 60s. You name it. There was somebody against it, and it may not have made a huge difference, but it did make a difference. It's not like the bullshit now. It's like, oh, well, I don't like what's going on, I'm going to blog about it. I think the war is bad. I think, and all these people that are like, like in their 20s that are like, oh, I'm political. I don't like George Bush. I saw Michael Moore's movie. It's like, fuck you. You don't know what's going on. Like, get on the bandwagon a little later. Why don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't consider myself astutely political or anything, but I knew back in 2000 I didn't like George Bush just with some of the shit he did. And then when the whole election stuff went down and I mean, I'm not trying to act like I'm some genius and I knew everything was going to happen, but...
Like, it wasn't that hard to figure out. I knew the same thing, too. I mean, you read for about 3 minutes and you could find out a lot about these people.
Right. I just love all these people that are like, Like, oh, yeah, I'm political. Yeah, I hate Bush. Yeah, Bush is an idiot. Ugh. I have a, whatever sticker on my car because I don't like George Bush. And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's everyone jumps on the bandwagon. The thing
And
about
all these people, and the reason, and I'm going to finally tell my reason why I made that bet with people about Obama not winning against McCain is because all they keep saying is like, oh, Obama's got youth on his side. All the young kids are inspired and they're going to vote. They're going to do this. This is bullshit. If people wanted to really, you can't count on young people to do anything. You just can't. Because they're fucking lazy and they play video games all day and they go on YouTube all day and they jerk off on MySpace all day. You can't count on them to do anything. Because if you could count on them to do anything, Kerry would have won in 2004. If people really cared, they would have got off their asses 4 years ago and did it, not now.
Yeah. I mean, if Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out the day before the elections, nobody's going to vote. So
that, and you can't underestimate the amount of people who are going to get in that voting booth and they're going to say, you know what, I can't vote for a black president, and they're not going to vote for him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter their platform or anything,
Right. And I don't think that, I mean, I guess to some degree that's racist, but I think that I've been holding this one in for such a long time. That's why I'm just rambling. That's why, like, I guess it's racism on some level where you say, well, I'm not going to vote for him for a black president because he's a black man or whatever, but I think it's just flawed logic. I think if the same could be said about the people who are voting for him because he's black. Like, if the people who are going to vote for him because he's black and the people that won't vote for him because he's black would just not vote on election day, then we could actually have like a real, like, okay, see who the better man is, but. So that's what I think.
I don't know. I keep getting these emails about how, Obama is like, what is he, Muslim? And like, so.
No, he's not. It's a rumor he's not.
I know, but I keep getting emails about it, and I'm like, even if he is, does that have anything to do with the issues at hand? Like, it's not like he's gonna, make the national religion Muslim or something. Like, pay attention to the facts and his platform and his views on things. Like, who cares? First of all, religion's stupid and fake anyway, so I don't see why it's such a big issue when a guy runs what religion he is. The whole thing is just ridiculous. Like, do you really believe that Noah built an ark big enough for 2 of every single animal on the planet? Really? He built a boat that big? Really? And he found 2 of every single animal on the planet that happened? How do you explain the fact that they're still finding animals that they didn't know exist? No one knew about them, and he collected them all? And, the fox didn't eat the chicken, and, the cat didn't eat the mice, and, the animals didn't slaughter each other. That place would have been filled with blood and gore and shit in about 10 minutes, and then the boat would have sank because one guy couldn't have built a fucking ark. So, right there, your entire religion is disproved. How was that for a rant?
That was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
Not bad at all.
I was gonna go on about the 60s and all that shit, but I don't know. I don't think we should do a whole thing on.
Yeah, I just got started. I got rolling, and
I could go on we could do like a 3-hour show on this shit.
Yeah, no, I know.
Just a quick thing about the protesting and how it did stuff in the 60s. They protested in the millions. I saw my first protest. I'm in New York City. I should be seeing protests everywhere. I saw my first protest in about 5 months. And it was about a total of 50 people. And it was in front of like an animal hospital or something. And they were protesting euthanizing cats instead of spaying or neutering them or something. I don't know. I guess if cats get old and nobody adopts them, then they put them to sleep or something.
Yeah, like a pound in humane societies and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was in front of that or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, 1, shut the fuck up and adopt a cat. If everyone there each adopted a cat, that place wouldn't have a problem. And 2, there's a fucking war going on and you're worrying about a fucking cat. Shut the fuck up and do something better with your time. Seriously.
Exactly.
There's so many things we could be protesting about, and we're protesting about a couple of cats. I love cats, but there's a lot more important things going on right now. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
Cats, come on.
Oh, I know. People can't be bothered. It's like, someone else will do it. Doesn't affect me, blah, blah, blah. Except it all does. It's all bullshit. Get out there and fucking, don't go to petitiononline.com and start fucking checking your name off.
That counts for nothing.
Get out there and fucking do something.
I could go to petition online and fill out 1,000 names myself and send it to somebody, Oh, and if you're sending a forward where it says add your name and forward it on, and when it gets to 1,000 names, we're gonna send it to whatever. Those are fake. They don't do shit. Don't send them to me. Don't send them to anybody. They don't mean anything. I could go through the phone book and just add 10,000 names, and whoever gets this forward in the end is going to think the same exact thing, Who's to say?
Who the fuck are these people? Nothing better to do.
Yeah, and who's to say, plus, if you forward it to 10 people, those 10 people forward it to somebody else, it's going to be all different lists anyway.
Exactly.
The list is all scattered and it never gets more than 100 names on it because it's going over to different people and shit. So, that whole thing just doesn't work, and stop doing that. It's not 1994 when we didn't know how to, email works.
Right.
This show just got really angry.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
Right. Oh, I have something that'll cheer you up.
All right.
I don't know how true this is. I read it on the internet the other day. If it's on the internet, it must be true.
Mm-hmm. Especially if it's on Wikipedia.
What? No, it wasn't on Wikipedia. It was on Perez Hilton.
Oh, it's gotta be true.
The guy from How I Met Your Mother and wrote Knocked Up and Forgetting Sarah Silverman.
Yes.
Or whatever that movie was called. Wish I could forget Sarah Silverman. I fucking hate her. I read that he has been signed on to write a new Muppet movie.
Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So, I don't know, how greenlit everything is, but...
Well, he wrote Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Now, if they could get some better voice actors, because some of these Muppets sound like shit now.
Right.
Fozzie and Kermit sound like complete ass.
Yeah. Well, the guy that does Fozzie is 100 years old.
For anybody who doesn't know, me and Bri are probably the biggest Muppet fans you can get.
Old Muppets, not this new shit.
Well, now they just remake real movies and put the Muppets in their place.
Yeah.
Cinder Elmo and fucking gay stuff like that. The original, if it's an original movie, I'm still down for it. They're making a Fraggle Rock movie this year.
Yeah, I did hear that.
I'm down with that.
Am I the only person, I watched this movie again, most of this movie again the other day, am I the only person that hated, and when I say hated, I mean beyond normal hate. I mean just
a level only Bri can get to.
Right. You know the kind of level I'm talking about. Am I the only one that really hated that Transformers movie that was out last year? Everybody else I know seems to love it. I thought it was just the worst 2 hours of my life.
I do not share your hatred in it. I didn't love it. I thought there was too many humans in it. I thought if it was just the Transformers, like the cartoon was, or maybe the cartoon had one or two, people in it, I would have liked it a lot better. I didn't like the whole involving all these humans in it. They do that in every movie, though.
My first problem with it is, first of all, when the Transformers were robots, except for Optimus Prime, you couldn't tell who the fuck was who.
Right.
They were way too digital. They were way too, robotic. They had no, individuality to them. I mean, yeah, okay, you could tell Bumblebee was Bumblebee, but everything else was who the fuck is that?
Or maybe
and then the other thing is, every movie that they make, Transformers and, I think, Alien versus Predator might have been like this.
That was my next,
if I remember the trailer. Every one of these movies, why can't it's a movie, it's a story, it's a fantasy. Can't it just be the Transformers beating the shit out of each other? Does it have to be, we have an inept secret branch of the government that doesn't know what the fuck is going on, and oh my god, there has to be a military guy in there. Why does every movie have to have some sort of weird government military tie-in to it?
I was going to use Aliens versus Predator as my example. I just wanted to see aliens and predators fucking each other up for an hour and a half. Done.
Yeah.
That would have been my favorite movie. I would have watched that over and over. Instead, you got these humans stuck in the midst of the war, and do people really they can't watch a movie if there's no humans in it? They ruin potentially great ideas by doing that shit.
I don't need to think oh, they made Hoover Dam because they found Megatron in there. Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Why can't it just be Transformers doing stuff? It doesn't have to be I don't need fucking John Voight. I think it's John Voight. Is it John Voight? Running around as Secretary of Defense, what the fuck is going on here? We don't know. We're going to bomb the Koreans. Wait a minute, they're not Koreans, they're robots. Oh, fuck you.
Ridiculous. Oh, and Soundwave. His voice was so awesome in the cartoons, and they totally dropped the ball on that in the movie. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember him in the movie. I remember him in the cartoon, yeah. But
you don't remember him in the movie because he didn't look or sound anything like it. He was the guy who had the cassette tapes.
Yeah, I know who he was.
He's the guy who was letting out the creatures in the movie, but it wasn't even the same things from the cartoon. He let out that little spider thing, and he didn't talk like he did in the cartoon. So.
But they got the 90-year-old guy to play Optimus Prime again.
That was very cool. But ruining Soundwave's voice, really, that was, I don't know. Maybe I'm too nerdy, but that was a real big minus in my book. How did we get on a 2-year-old movie?
I don't know. We were talking about movies, and I just thought about it because I watched it the other day, and it pissed me off.
No, I don't care. I'm just wondering how we get on our tangents sometimes.
This happens.
Well, I think that's about it, right?
Yeah. Well, shit, it's been 2 hours. Or an hour, I don't know.
We're at an hour 10, I think.
Not counting all the dead air when you thought the thing stopped.
Yeah, no, I'm compensating for that. The show's gonna be an hour 6 or something.
Fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, so that was a pretty rage-fueled show.
Turned out that way, yes.
Yeah. I started off mad, but the rants were calm, and then when I thought it was gonna calm down, then the show got really angry. Oh, well, that happens.
I have a knack for doing that, what can I say?
Let's see. brinkofsanityshow.com. Click on that ad on the bottom of the page. Go to the forums. There is a link in the forums at the very top to our dig page. So click on that dig thing. Give us a thumbs up. That'll help us get some new listeners. Before next episode airs, it'll be the first of the month. So that means vote on Podcast Alley.
Tuesday.
There's a vote link right on the front page. So Tuesday morning, wake up, go to that front page, hit vote, and vote.
There you go.
And then that'll make us smile. And then we'll have a better show.
That's right.
Let's see, we'll be back next week with that water to gas story.
I do have one last closing final thought after you're all done wrapping up the plugs.
Okay.
Cut me. Don't hit stop yet till I'm done.
We will have follow-up stories from Bry's Vegas trip.
Hopefully.
We will have maybe a guest host. I'm not promising anything.
Might have some funny voicemails from Las Vegas from me, hopefully.
Might have a new world record from me.
Maybe,
Hopefully
yes.
we'll have some drunken, totally sloshed voicemails from Bry. I want to hear so much slurring that we could barely understand your words.
I could see myself calling, but fucking up the message somehow and it not getting recorded.
And it'll be the most epic phone call ever. Ever hear it.
Yep.
I want you to be so drunk that you don't remember what you said, so that we can relive it for the first time on the show.
Yeah, we're gonna have to screen them before we play them, just in case.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I won't listen to them until it goes on, but
We'll see. We could probably. What can I say that's gonna offend anybody?
I don't know. We burn all our bridges anyway. I think if half my friends listened to the show, they wouldn't talk to me again.
Yeah,
But then again, they should stop doing stupid shit. And
Not listen.
well, yeah, not listening. That's the guy who was supposed to be our guest host a few weeks ago,
Oh yeah.
he's like, oh, you should still be a guest host. And I'm like, you don't have to anymore. You're already a running character on the show. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, we talk about you all the time. If you listen to people. So I don't know if he's going to listen just to see if we really did talk about him. And then I remembered we really did talk about him once. So I was like, fuck. But,
is that the one I voted against for being in?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did.
Well, you know what? I think sometimes if somebody says shit, it's kind of good for them. Because then maybe they'll think about what they did and not do it again.
Yeah, not take a personal attack and turn it around into something positive.
Exactly. So, maybe you should reflect about what you did and apologize for your actions.
That's right.
I'll expect a written apology under my door by next week. You scum.
I will read it on the air.
All right, so I think it's time for Bryce Jerry Springer final thought.
Yeah, you got all the plugs done and everything?
I think so. BrinkASanityShow.com. Just do everything that's on there. Go to the forums and then on the what's happening or news or whatever section, I'm annoying and I post everything I want you to do as far as voting and clicking and all that shit. Just do all that for me.
You like clicking buttons. Click all the buttons.
All that shit total will take you 5 minutes and, we do an hour plus show every week. So I think it's a fair exchange. Yeah. All right, now I'm done.
All right. So here's my little final thought. It's a little somber here, but that's okay. So in about 36 hours, I'm leaving for Las Vegas. I've never been there. I've wanted to go ever since I knew what it was. So going for a long weekend, Friday to Monday, with 4 lovely young ladies. Actually, I shouldn't say that because I only know one of them. I don't know the other 3. We're staying
I'm
in a
sure
suite.
They're lovely.
And we're staying in a suite, so it should be fun. So there's probably a 90% chance that one of my planes will crash since, I really want to go to Vegas and, that's how life works. So, Jay, I'm giving you first dibs on all my stuff if something like that happens. Contact my parents and they'll, send it out to you or you can come get it, whatever you want.
That was very sweet of you.
I have I have a nice big TV, living room set, a bar, some liquor.
Still have all those old Muppet records?
Yeah, they're somewhere. I don't know where. You have to ask my mom where they are, but you could have first dibs on it, and then the rest will probably just auction off to charity or something like that. In the rare chance, though, that my plane gets taken over by terrorists and crashes, I need you and all the listeners to spread false stories about me fighting back, getting into the cockpit, crashing the plane to spare everybody else's lives.
Okay.
So that's going to be your job to do, to make me into a hero so I get my name on a stone somewhere.
And if it actually hits its target, I'll just make up a bigger, more important target and say it was supposed to go to that one.
Exactly. I'll try to leave a voicemail on the